the Greenville City Council to order, and let the record reflect it's 4:30. And we'll start working on trying to finalize the 25-26 budget. So, Summer?
Yeah, Mayor, so if you'll see, we've got the spreadsheet that was sent to you guys, I think Thursday of last week for you guys to review with all the items that were in for the general fund. And so this is what's in it. Over to the right, if I were to scroll over, it's everything that's in it with additional requests that were at the bottom that were in red. So at this time, I will make note, you'll see down the over-under target there to the bottom left, in the green box, which is $99,000. That went substantially up from the proposed budget due to our health insurance. We got word, I think on Wednesday, either Wednesday evening or Thursday, that we have a 3%, around a 3.2% renewal, which equated out for the year, because they do it from January to December, was 2.6, and so I left it at 3%. We had budgeted at 5%, so that gave us an additional, just for the general fund, an additional $80,000. So I didn't put anything additional in there. I just left that over under target at $99,000. So you could move anything in there that you see from the list that's not on there, and then that number is obviously going to change. The items you can change on this spreadsheet are going to be obviously the tax rate. If you guys choose to change the tax rate, that would be up to you guys. You can also change the fund balance target, which is that 17% down at the bottom left. So you change that, then all the numbers start to change. If you take that down, you take that up. That 17% is a percentage of the expenditure. So just realize if you add expenditures in there, then obviously your percentage goes up. So then your numbers will shift, and it's not linear, if that makes sense. It's by percentage. So, so I've got it here. Any suggestions y'all would like to make? We can move things in and out, leave it like it is, or move forward. And you don't have to decide everything tonight. You guys still have till September 9th. We'll have one more work session before that, and then September 9th it'll be on the agenda to approve the budget, to ratify the tax rate and approve the tax rate and move forward with everything that's in it. So that's all I have to present, so it'll be up to you guys what you'd like to see changed and moved around.
Okay, so the black items on the right are in the list,
Correct.
and then the red are
Red
not.
or not.
Okay.
That's correct.
I don't know, I can start, or does anyone have any suggestions they want to make or anything? Okay. One of the things that I do know is the Board of Development has allocated another $200,000 for a community project, which would be a flag, and I've received a lot of positive comments about our flag, and so I'd like to see us include that $100,000, which we may not use all of that, $100,000 for a Texas flag on the other catty corner. I think it had to be not right like this, but across from Walgreens. I guess I'll say it that way. That's where the location would be. I'd like to include that.
You know those big flags that are in, what is it, between us and Rockwall?
Princeton?
Well, Princeton, yeah, there's a couple of those big flags in Princeton, and they're pretty much side by side. And they're able to do that. It seems like we have room to do them together.
I'd like for it to be side by side if it could.
Yeah.
I was told it couldn't be.
I'll confirm with TxDOT. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's TxDOT's
Yeah,
property.
so-
Those ones that are side by side is personal private property.
Yeah.
So I'll confirm if that's possible.
Yeah, we really want them to be side by side if
Do
possible.
TxDOT,
Yes, we really do. That's a good point.
Because the clearance of both of them would have to not interfere with any of the frontage roads or any of the interstates.
Right, but the rules would be the same for private property too, wouldn't
That's on their own property, and they're on their property over that.
they? Yeah.
You know, so not necessarily they can put everything on it, as long as it's stable. But I'd have to confirm with TxDOT. I don't know
Okay.
the answer.
All right.
On the same median, side by side.
Yeah, if we can.
Okay.
Yeah. It would look a lot better.
So I'd like to recommend that one. And then we have a number of, I'll say, smaller requests that were under $50,000 or whatever. They start with police traffic safety trailer, the Parks weather station, that lease for the John Deere, probably some library furniture, fire station, I don't know about the generators, anyway, some of those smaller items, I think would be nice if we could get those out of the way or get them done. There obviously are needs, the staff wouldn't have recommended them, and the only thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna need them eventually, and they're gonna cost more the next time they're put on the budget. So I don't know how much impact that would have, but, I'd recommend that we consider some of those. Some of you have some expertise about that, about whether we really do what we do and don't need, but, I'd recommend some of those. And then my only other comment probably would be Old Mill Road is a mess. It carries a lot of traffic, even though it's a small part of our deal. It's going to have to be redesigned and redone at some point in time, or probably closed down. It's really the way it is now, and I'd recommend that if that doesn't impact the budget too much. So, or I'd recommend we consider that. So those are kind of the items that I'd like for the council to consider, discuss.
What's the streets pre-melter trailer?
That's the one that'll allow them to strike.
Oh, okay.
You remember in the presentation, it would just allow them to heat it up and allow them to strike, and those would last a little bit longer.
Okay.
So.
Would it be appropriate to put some of those in the model and see how it impacts us?
Yeah, sure.
Is that, unless there's some conversation?
This is in addition to, correct?
Yeah, yes, Right now, we're roughly 3 cents below the no new revenue rate, right?
Correct.
So we have a little money to. We could spend some money and still be below the no new revenue rate, which we've done, I think, 3 out of the last 4 years. This would be the 3rd out of the last 4 years, right? Something like that.
Well, the only money you currently have right now is close to that $99,000 based on this budget.
No, I know.
Yeah, that without increasing the rate.
Without increasing the tax rate.
No,
correct.
I know. Right, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's.
So you'd want to up the tax rate, is what you're saying?
Yeah, just to see what happens. See how it
Okay.
goes.
So what would you like to do? You want me to add these things and then do the tax rate, or just tell me?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can remember the whole slobber of items that I mentioned.
No, probably not. I mean, 1 cent, about 350,000. So,
We'd
I
have to
mean-
do 3 cents to cover what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
You could look at like 2 cents.
yeah, and
Yeah,
what
right.
what we could spend for that and get.
Yeah. You could do most of what I suggested without the old mill design, I think, pretty easily.
You could also,
And
you could also adjust for 17% too as well, and that could be a little bit more.
We've taken it down in the past.
Yeah, we have.
That's correct.
we had questions, I think, at the last meeting about the streets paver. If that was something that was purchased. I know the equipment cost is 240,000, but like, say we wanted to use that to redo parts of Old Mill, or parts that need fixing. I mean, is the materials for the resurfacing for the paver, is that in addition, I guess, or is that?
No, that would be in addition to. And these would be for like smaller sections of streets, so it wouldn't be for Old Mill. We contract out Old Mill just because of Old Mill's a little complicated with the drainage and everything. So this would be kind of our smaller streets. Most of our well, any of the ones, around Park Street, those smaller streets that it could do, because most of the time you have to have that paver and it, does one side and then you come back down the other side. This one would be just for smaller sections that we could do in-house and wouldn't have to contract out.
And did we get a number or anything about how much that would save us, or?
I apologize. I will have that to you this week. So I apologize for the. Because we just did those 2 repairs on Moulton, and those 2 small repairs were 30,000. Obviously, those were kind of emergency repairs, so if we plan those out, it wouldn't be quite as much. But just to give you an idea of those small ones. And they did the multi ones in a day, you know, so normally if we do a street, you know, we wouldn't rush it that fast, because they had a lot of staff and everything like that, because it was an emergency repair and it was a street. Broken for a while, so. But I can get you that, I'll get you that tomorrow.
Any other suggestions or questions or anything?
I think definitely we need to look at some of these things that involve safety, like the weather system for the parks.
I do too.
So we've got the flag in there.
And forgive me, but I think I'd rather see the safety and stuff for infrastructure before a flag.
Okay. What after the weather system? I didn't remember, the safety trailers?
Yeah. Police, traffic, safety trailer. Parks.
Yeah, the John Deere.
Lease option.
Mhm.
The 19,000?
And then there's the $15,000 downtown solar lighting. $10,000.
Oh, hold on. Oh, the fire.
What about the library furniture? It's not one of those items do we need,
We can put it on there.
why don't you put it on there and let's see what it does. Did you do the downtown solar lighting? We
Yes.
talked about that. That's included?
Yes.
Okay.
15,000, that's correct.
Okay.
So if you'll look, that's what it looks like. That's what your numbers
That
look like right
puts us 190 under or over.
there. Over, that's correct.
So we need to go up a half a cent, basically.
Did you do
Yeah,
About.
just the 16.
What's that? We'll drop another percent out of the.
Drop the target fund balance to 50%.
15?
I'm just saying if you drop it to
15.
Oh, 16, I just dropped it to 16.
Yeah.
I covered everything, plus you got.
Hey, Summer, how long ago was it that we had our fund balance set at 20? We had it at 20 at one point.
I feel like.
I'll confirm, but I want to say it's like 3 years ago.
And what's isn't there like a recommended level from one of the state accounting
Based on our
auditing boards?
policy,
or
we
whatever?
need to be anywhere from 15 to 20, 20 being the high.
Right.
Based on our own policy. And then so if you get over that 20%, it's recommended you spend it down to get to that 20%. If you get below that 50, you get to below the 15%, you need to do some things to get back over the 15%. So that 20 to 15 is our policy to stay within that.
Right, that's our policy, but I remember when we discussed this in the past, there was some, like an auditing
Right.
accreditation board or something that had a recommendation. I can't remember.
3 months of the expenses.
Okay.
It's not really a percentage because
Okay.
because expenses are different, but as long as you've got a target of fund balance of 3 months of your expenses. It's kind of the industry standard, but that's kind of your recommendation.
And is that 15%, would that cover 3 months of expenses?
Where our fund balance, actual ending fund balance is 6.8. So with the 41 proposed expenditure obviously those have some capital in it, but that's a little over 3 million for 1 month. So that's about 2 months for that target.
So then the 15 to 20% range doesn't really fit the 3-month recommendation.
Right. And we haven't, I mean, we've gone out for, the bonds and the rec center, and that's never been anything that, like the rating agencies had ever had an issue with, because we're always consistent. We're within our own policy.
Mhm.
It's always at the 6.6, we're in that range. That's never hurt us negatively. Obviously, cash is important.
Right.
When you're looking at the bond ratings, so that's helpful. But with our target and the policies that we've had in place, that's never really been an issue for us on the general fund side.
So reducing the fund balance 1% and adding these items, the tax rate is still the same, right?
That's correct.
Right, okay. And we still have then, having done that, we've got, what, 23 out
Yeah, 223.
there. Okay.
We can go halvesies on a percent, like can we do like 16 and a half? What if we just balanced out what's in the list now? What would that look like? Yeah. Should get pretty close, I would think. No, that didn't work. I think it just drops the decimal.
Yeah. He's got it, yeah, we've got it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only, I don't have 0.5%.
Okay.
We could look at that.
Yeah.
We don't have a 0.5%.
That keeps us over 3 cents below the revenue, no new revenue.
Well, it keeps our rate flat, which
Yeah.
I would really like to keep the rate flat if at all possible.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I can do that.
My feeling.
Are there any other suggestions anybody have? You two?
Well, if we did do we have to do the 5% merit raise, or could we do a 4.5 or something like that? Offset any?
I like the 5 myself.
I think cost of living increase was like 3%.
Is that the pre-merit adjustments? Is that cost of living?
CPI.
No, those are when we sat down with Uriah, did the pay studies and made sure.
Okay. That's just a leveling adjustment.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, leveling based on market.
Right.
So it wasn't, I wouldn't really say cost of living.
I have one comment regarding the insurance rate. Juice has budgeted a 10% increase, I believe. So are they aware of this new? They're doing their budget now. Are they aware that the rate has changed, or what the actual rate's going to be?
I have not talked to Michelle, no, so I will pass that information.
Okay, they'd probably like to know that. 'Cause
Okay. Like I said, we literally got that. I can't remember if it was Wednesday or late
Yeah,
Thursday.
it's
We got
okay.
it.
They just need to know.
Yeah, sure.
They've got their public hearing on September the 4th, so.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
just
I
need to
will
know
let
that.
Juice know for sure. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So, if there are no other suggestions, why don't you implement this, send this spreadsheet out to everybody, and we can look at it
Okay.
and,
And
mess
I'll add
around
this-
with that, see
I'll add
where
the
we
half
are.
percents on there so that if you wanna, I'll add the half percents on there.
Yeah, that'd be
So the
good.
balance, if you wanna look at that, I'll add that into the formula. So I'll do that.
Okay, and so we hope to adopt this budget, tax rate, et cetera, September 9th,
That's correct.
right?
Yes.
So
That's when it'll be on the.
this will be the
agenda.
last opportunity.
Yes. I'll do
And
that
I
as
have
soon as
one
possible.
suggestion on that ticket, the ticket amount that we charge. It's, I think, $3.50 or something. I'd like to see that raised to $5.
Tickets for
EMA tickets.
GMA, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I think you recommended 3.50. I'd like to see it go to $5.
Okay, 3.5.
Yeah. I think that's gonna. Any other suggestions?
And then we'll also make sure the wastewater fees that y'all just discussed will be
And we'll have the same work session on the 9th to finalize these items, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, do you have anything else? If not, we'll go into executive session, and we'll be back here at 6 o'clock. I'll call this regular session of the Greenville City Council to order. Let the record reflect it's about 6:05. I apologize for being late. We're in executive session. And I'd like to ask Steve Mifflin, the Director of Community Development, to come offer the invocation. Please stand.
Father God, we come to you tonight, Lord. We just we thank you for this day, Father. We thank you for this cooler weather that we're having. Father, some rain's coming, we hope. Father, as this city grows, we ask that you would guide us and help us to move, Father. It's coming, and we know it's coming, and we want to be ready for it. And Father, I just ask you to bless council and leadership as we try to do the right things, Father, that you'd guide us and let us know that those are the right things. And Father, we thank you for all those people that are here tonight, and we just thank you for everything you do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. There are no presentations tonight. I call your attention to two placeholders in the agenda: citizens to be heard and public testimony. Citizens are invited to address the council on items that are not already scheduled for public hearing or on the agenda. If they're not on the agenda, that's what citizens to be heard is for. Public testimony is for items that are on the agenda, starting tonight with item 8A. There is one public hearing tonight. There are no ordinances. So I'll ask the city secretary, are there citizens?
There are. I have about 7, so I'll start with the first one, which is going to be Betty Mundy.
Good afternoon. My name is Betty Mundy, 3414 West Marshall Street here in Greenville. I was going to talk about something else, but I'm not. I'm going to talk about my cat that's been stuck in a tree for 3 days. And we can't get anybody to come out, nobody. So a neighbor of mine called Channel 5 today to see what they could do. We've called the police department. We cannot get anybody at the animal control. A fireman came out yesterday in just a regular truck, and I was hotter than fish grease could ever be. He said, well, I can't go up in that tree because the cat might scratch me. So I'm saying to myself, you run in burning houses. If you can run in a burning house, you can take your butt up a tree to get my cat. That's where I feel. Now, that's my cat. So I'm really, really upset about that because I can't get nobody out. I understand the phone lines might be there, and I don't know. But the fire department won't come out. Animal control line is completely blocked up. You can't get any messages. You can't get any messages through because the lines are all backed up. But anyway, I was just trying to see if somebody could come and get my cat down, and because he's been up there since Saturday, but we can't get him down. So my neighbors came up today with ladders, but we couldn't get high enough, to get him to come down. And then we shot water up there, but then when we shot the water up, he ran further up. But my thing is with the fire department in Greenville, Texas. If you are so afraid of a cat scratch, do you run in burning houses? What's worse, running in a burning house or going right there to get a cat that you might have a scratch? And I do know that firemen have gloves. I do know that they have gloves. So I don't know if there's anybody in here with the fire department. But if it is, please don't dial my number for contributions, because you will get a no ma'am, no sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ellen Rockwell.
Ellen Marie Rockwell, 5318 Valencia Drive, Rowlett, Texas. Your Honor, Mayor Ransom, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen. I've had the privilege to work with the shelter staff and rescues for over 10 years. Brandon, the shelter manager, Justin, John, Erica, the main ACOs, and staff, Jaylyn, Rosa. All of them work extremely hard within the constraints of time, money, and resources that they have. The shelter staff and rescue are aware that overpopulation of animals is the real issue, that not all dogs can be rehomed, particularly bullies and big black dogs. Advocacy, that is why I'm here tonight. Advocacy. I'm sorry to mispronounce it, but it's not adversarial. Advocacy is a partnership. I request that the city council members act as an intermediary, creating a focus group comprised of members of Brandon's staff at the shelter and rescue volunteers. Rescue, we stand ready with volunteers to support Brandon and his staff with initiatives to improve the adoption and rescue numbers. I am advocating for a partnership on social media to raise awareness of adoptable animals. This can be achieved by a volunteer posting photos and bios of the animals. To engage with the Greenville community with a Facebook page to highlight successes with volunteer support. Leverage the resources of Cause for Paws facility next door to provide medical assistance for the animals in the shelter's care. To have volunteers plan and assist in adoption events to raise community awareness, as well as partner with local businesses to reap the economic benefits of adopting pets. Pet adoption has positive effects on the local economy. The national average for the yearly spending on a pet, in particular a dog, is $1,500. These are significant economic benefits for Greenville. The vision of the City of Greenville, and I quote from your website, is to build in our hometown values and rich heritage as diverse as the community by providing cost-effective, quality services to create an enjoyable, vibrant place where families and businesses choose to live, grow, and prosper. Mayor Ransom and Council, I ask along with dedicated volunteers that you add a request for advocacy and synergy with the Greenville Shelter on the agenda for open discussion as soon as you can, preferably the next meeting. Thank you very much.
Lee Martin.
Good evening, Your Honor, Mayor Ransom, members of the council, and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lee Martin. My address is 15 County Road 1150, and I located in Cumbie, Texas. I am a 501c3 rescue that deals in mainly dogs. Sometimes other little wild creatures get into my rescue. I'm here tonight to support the request to add the council agenda an item discussing the Greenville Shelter and rescue volunteers work together to advocate for the Greenville animal at the shelter, the Greenville animals at the shelter. My expertise happens to be in fundraising as well as doing major adoption events in which I'm extremely successful in getting many dogs adopted into the right families so that they do not end up back on the streets where they likely may have come from. Greenville is a wonderful place to live. It's a great human resource place. It's growing, and there's lots of great people here who own animals. I'm sure most of you do, and there will be lots of people that can adopt animals if we can work with them the right way and let them understand why the animals need the care that they need. I would ask that you please add us to the next city council agenda, or the one that is coming up as close as you can, so that we could discuss just a couple of items that perhaps we as volunteers can help the shelter with so that they don't have to use their time and expense on a lot of what we feel like we could do for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tara Whittington.
Hello, I'm Tara Whittington. I live at 6513 FM 2101 in Quinlan. And Your Honor, Mayor Ransom, a member of the councils, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm here tonight to support the request to add the council agenda on an item discussing the Greenville shelter and rescue groups that work together to advocate for the Greenville shelter animals. My expertise, I foster for a lot of rescues, and the biggest thing about fostering is, and having volunteers at this shelter, is so people know what they're adopting. That will get you more adoptions. That's very important. But I also network, social media. I transport from all over. But working together to support the Greenville shelter staff and get the animals adopted, we can exemplify the city council's vision while making a difference for the people and the animals. So please put a request on the agenda for the next meeting or as soon as possible. Thank you.
Brianna C.
Hello. My name is Brianna, and I live at 626 Turtle Creek Drive here in Greenville, Texas. Your Honor, Mayor Ransom, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here tonight to support the request to add the council agenda an item discussing the Greenville Animal Shelter. I'm a foster for several rescues and the Greenville Animal Shelter. And I'm just requesting that you guys would add us to the council agenda for your next meeting as soon as possible to discuss things that could be done in moving forward in the future for the community and the animals, to get the care that they need and get them into homes and provide resources for the shelter in a positive way, so that way the community can have the things that they need for their animals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Melissa Barnes.
Hello, my name is Melissa Barnes. I live at 132 County Road, 1152, Gumby, Texas. Your Honor, Mayor, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, I am here tonight to support the request to add the council agenda in item discussion for the Greenville shelter and rescue groups work together in an advocate for the Greenville shelter and animals. I do I help in with the social media, where taking pictures, or with Pet Finder, or etc. That's Facebook. There are volunteers like me ready to advocate and support the Greenville shelter and staff and get these animals adopted in forever homes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Donna Bradshaw.
Hello, Your Honor, Mayor Ransom, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here tonight to support the request to add the council agenda an item discussing the Greenville shelter and rescue volunteers work together to advocate for the Greenville shelter animals. I am a social networker. I've been doing this for 15 years. I work with the Greenville shelter as much as I can to get those animals into either a rescue or a home. It's a lot of work. I do this in our free time, but we want to help those animals. I believe that there are benefits for the city of Greenville that include economic as well as meeting the council's vision for Greenville, and I ask that you please put this on the agenda. Thank you.
That's all, Mayor.
Okay, thank you for your comments. At this point, we'll move to item 6A, public hearings, consideration and action of an ordinance to approve a request from John Barthow to rezone 4 lots in the Sympatics Addition located at the 3200 block of Borland Street. Steve.
All right, sorry about that. We actually platted this property back in June, but this is what the Henry Group, the building there off of Henry Street that runs all the way down. It basically is the whole block, goes down to Borland. They're in the process of cleaning that out, and at some point I hope we're gonna take it down. But what they want to do is those 4 lots back there, they want to take the zoning down. Usually everybody's wanting to go up, but this one's going to take it down from commercial to multifamily, and they want to build 4 duplexes on those 4 lots you see that'll face Borland Street. Right across the street, we have some new homes there. It is zone multifamily. Property back to the west is also zone multifamily, and then the railroad tracks run on the east side of it, and then of course you got the commercial there on the other. So I took this item to P&Z last Monday night, and they unanimously recommend changing the zoning on it. And I do too. It makes sense. Instead of those new houses across the street looking at the back of buildings, whatever they build on that commercial property, they'll be looking at some new homes there. So makes sense. We're all going down in zoning, by the way, not up. So I'd be happy.
Any questions for Steve? Okay, is the applicant here tonight? Would they like to make a comment?
They're here. I don't know if he wants to say anything or not.
Okay.
He doesn't really want to.
Okay. There being no questions, I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone like to speak in opposition to this request? There being no one, does anyone like to speak in favor of this request? Being no one, I'll close the public hearing. What is the preference of the council regarding this issue?
Make a motion to approve. It's hard to see on this map, but if you look at the current aerial, there's already actually houses there, and it makes sense. Can't really see them. Anyway, it makes sense to me, so I'd make a motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Please vote. And it passes unanimously. There are no ordinances tonight. Moving to Resolution 8A, consideration and action on a resolution approving the 2026 annual work plan for the Greenville Board of Development. Greg?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Greg Sims, Greenville Board of Development. In your packet tonight, the board has reviewed and approved the new plan of work for 2025-2026. If you notice, do we have it on the computer? You do? Okay. I guess I will be the clicker person. While she's bringing it up, I do want to recognize we have our chair, Ms. Holly Gray, right here. We have board member Frank Stevenson, right here. We have our staff, John Dixon, and then Erica Alicio. So, I don't think anybody else in here. Yep, that's all tonight. Okay. I'm not going to go through all of this, Mayor. It's very lengthy. I do want to highlight some just positive things. So, the front cover is one of the best things in a long time. Where we were real successful this last year with Orbis Corporation and Sabre Corporation, SPR Packaging. This aerial that you see there below there, if I can raise it up just a little bit so you can see the picture there. Maybe come down a little bit on that page. There you go. Perfect. Thanks. So this aerial displays $81 million capital investment by Orbis. 190 jobs, about 1.1 million square feet. And Sabert, 90 million, 220 direct jobs, 75 million for SPR packaging, 49 direct jobs is phase one. Sabert's phase one as well. So we're real proud of that. The board really worked really hard getting these 3 companies to come to Greenville. I do want to highlight that next year in this plan of work will be the 85th year of the Greenville Board of Development. So what a significant milestone for the board. Going on over to the board director members. Oh, thank you for doing that, Carla. Is it doing it all by itself?
No, she's got it.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. We do want to recognize Jerry Morris is our vice chairman. Jerry will be going off the board end of this year to finish his 6 years on the board. I want to say a special thank you to Mr. Jerry Morris for his service on our board, and he's done a tremendous job as our vice chairman. Sean Franklin, secretary treasurer. Tim Dooley will be going off the end of this year. Thank you so much for his 6 years as well. been great service to our board. Barry Gluck and Frank Stevenson is fulfilling an unexpired term. And then he will want to, I think he'll want to serve again this coming year. Blake Taylor is serving an unexpired term, and thank you for Blake and Frank's service to our board. Mentioned our staff. Our goals are the same as has always been. The board reviews this every year, but certainly to improve the economic well-being and quality of place by Greenville by growing a stable tax base, creating primary jobs through recruitment and attraction of new business industry, and retention and expansion of existing businesses. That's in the essence the basic principle of what we do. I want to bring up John real quick to talk a little bit about our BREP, Business Retention Expansion Program. We're real proud of that. A lot of the things that John has been instrumental in helping us through, we really appreciate his work on that. John, you want to come up and talk about it?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. If you could go down to the picture on the bottom there. It's a little farther. There it is. I just want to draw your attention to this picture because this picture is pretty important to us. This is the culmination of a little over 4 years of work in collaboration with the Board of Development, L3 Harris Corporation, Workforce Solutions, North Central Texas, and a key partner in Paris Junior College. These 7 folks in front of you are L3 Harris employees that are going through the Aircraft Mechanic Registered Apprenticeship Program. This program started a little over 4 years ago, coming on the heels of COVID. Took about 2 years to get approval through the U.S. Department of Labor for the Registered Apprenticeship Program. And so these young folks are employed by L3 Harris. They're going through a 2-year, roughly 2,000-hour program in airframe mechanic program. Once they reach the culmination of this program, they will have increase in pay, increase in skills from L3 Harris, as well as a U.S. Department of Labor Journey Worker Aircraft Mechanic card they can take with them throughout their entire career. So just want to highlight this very important program that took a long time to work on, but we're very proud of it, and especially the collaboration with all the entities. And I also want to highlight the $12 million investment that Paris Junior College made in our community and opening the new Workforce Training Center at their campus here in Greenville that houses a mechatronics and industrial maintenance dual credit program, as well as the aircraft mechanic program, a HVAC and electrical dual credit program. One thing I want to point out too, in addition to the registered apprenticeship, which is current L3 employees, L3 has collaborated with all 10 Hunt County ISDs to create a pre-apprenticeship program. And to date, in the 3 years that it's been in existence, they've hired 38 young graduates of Hunt County high schools to direct employment at L3. And also, even more importantly on that, is the retention. They've retained 35 of those young people still employed there today. So just a quick highlight on one of the important programs to do for the BREP program. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
I think one of the goals of that is to train people who are in this area and have them continue to stay here and work in this area. And that's been very positive.
Absolutely, Mayor. Good point. Page 6, just flipping there real quick. We're going to talk about key project development. So we continue to target our major areas related to the types of projects that we are attractive to, which are majorly plastics products. We have some oil and gas. We have paper products. We have food packaging. All sorts of different diversified. Certainly defense goes in there as well. And then we work with our local, state, and regional folks to help market our community through the Greater Dallas Chamber. The governor's office is certainly a big lead generator for us, and as well as the general awareness through our economic development tourism program that we do. And last but not least, the last page, we focus tremendously on professional development and fiscal accountability to the citizens of Greenville and to our board as relates to training of sales tax training, Public Information Act training, Public Funds Investment Act training, and all the other training necessary that certain board members have to achieve every year. So I want to submit that to you. We do also, the last Exhibit A, remind you that we still focused on this area, which is not in the city limits of Greenville, along 1570. We still would like to preserve that as an industrial district area, although we don't have any controls over that. We just want to generally put it out there that we see that as an industrial growth area. So we have this submitted. I'll take any questions, Mayor. Thank you.
Any questions for Greg? And I'll just ask, is there any public testimony tonight?
I have no more.
Okay. Well, if there are no questions, what's the pleasure of the council regarding this item 8A?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Please vote. And it passes unanimously. Item 8B, consideration and consideration and action on the resolution approving the fiscal 25-26 budget for the Greenville Board of Development and the Greenville 4A Economic Development Corporation. Greg?
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. This is version 8 of our budget draft. This year, the board approved. The board really looked at it really hard over the last 4 months, as well as staff. And some great news in that we expect our juice income to come up a little bit over last year, although we're going to be conservative on that this year. It's all related to weather. When I arrived here in 2011, our juice income, I think, was around $350,000 a year. And this budget, we're proposing $600,000. So it's, in that time period, we've almost doubled it there. On the sales tax side, we are going to recommend. We think we're going to bring in about $1.145 million this year on the sales tax. So we're going to be conservative again on that and recommend $1 million on revenue side on that. All the other expenses are something that we just have in there related to operating is not much different. We're following the city regarding that, relating to city benefits and salaries. And then under business investment development, we have plugged in some project money for if there happens to be some infrastructure repairs that have to be done in industrial park, rather than helping out the city if we have a water line or sewer line or street needs to be repaired, helping out the city funds with our funds to get those repaired in the industrial district, because you are so concentrating, mayor and council, on your residential areas, our main thoroughfares. We understand that totally. And so we just put some money there for that. We've also got some money in here for promotion, be it whatever the city council wants to do as far as promoting the city and whatever light they want to be in. We would love to partner with the city on any way that they would see a way to promote our city. So we have funds in there for that. And then also we have some of the firms, some of the money we have in here, long-term committed project incentives. We do have some final payments we've got to make on some existing companies that we try to do to manage our cash flow is generally we try to do about 5-year deals so that we don't deplete our funds, plus makes them commit. So they have to do something to get something. So they don't do anything, then we don't give them the money. So we have to compete with the entire world as it relates to industrial development and things of that nature. So we try to be very, very frugal about that. Then we have put some money in there under downtown revitalization infrastructure, and also trying to help our downtown facilities. Some of our buildings are so difficult. Downtown is such a hard redevelopment area. The board feels like it's a heartbeat of our community. We have so much city assets down here. This building itself, I think you realize the heartbeat of the community is our downtown area. The city council approved the renovation upstairs, which is tremendous. So many visitors who come to Greenville come to our downtown. They come to Landon Winery. They come to this facility to come to a show. If you look at the number of people all across, I would say Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, all parts of Texas, they come to downtown. So downtown is very important. We put a lot of stock in that. Other things we have in miscellaneous project reserves in both funds, in the GBOD fund and the 4A fund, ending cash balance under GBOD after, these are budgets, we never spend everything in the budget, but ending cash balance in the GBOD fund about $337,000, and 2.5 million in the 4A fund. So I'll submit that and take any questions. Sorry.
Thank you, Greg, for your two presentations. Being no public testimony, what's the pleasure of the council regarding this item?
Make a motion that we approve the proposed budget.
Second.
Please vote. And it passes unanimously. Item 8C.
Mayor, one thing, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Orbis is having a grand opening, so we want to invite all the council. So
Okay.
could I pass this out to the council members?
That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Thank you, John. Thank you, Holly. Thank you all. Item C, 8C, consideration action on a resolution approving contract with Texana Land Asphalt for the 2025 street project.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Steve Glass with the Engineering Department. Good to see y'all. This is a resolution to approve the contract with Texana Land and Asphalt for the remainder of the 2025 street project for Cheltenham Place and First Street. The contract is for $153,841. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? If not, what is the pleasure of the council regarding this item?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Please vote. It was easy.
Thank y'all.
Okay, passes unanimously. Item 8D, consideration and action on a resolution authorizing an agreement with Castro Roofing to perform waterproof preventive maintenance to the water treatment plant.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I'm here to talk to you about getting the old water plant actually waterproofed. We're going to ask you if we can go in consideration action, authorize Castro Roofing to perform this waterproofing preventative maintenance at the water plant. The water plant, you know, it was built in 1955. We had one serious rehab in the early 90s, and of course a couple years ago when we did the major rehab for the filters and the actual VFDs, everything inside the water plant. Well, the building itself, it leaks. So it leaks all the way down from the first floor all the way down to the third floor where the VFDs are kept in the MCC equipment. And we would like to try to protect all this equipment and everything that we put into the water plant with this project here. We do have the funds. The fund, it's $108,008.77. We have the funds in account number PW 2400, and that will be allocated. That one's allocated from the industrial park project. We had some money left over, and I'm here to ask you if we can get the water plant rehabbed and protected, and protect all that equipment that we have in there, that we put in there.
Any questions? You worked with this, do we have any experience with this roofer?
They have done work with Chris. Chris McAllister is actually the person that told me about Castro Roofing. They've actually done work for us before.
Good deal. If there are no questions, what's the pleasure of the council regarding this item?
I second.
Please vote. And it passes unanimously. Item 8E, consideration and an action on a resolution authorizing H&H electrical contractors to install wiring for a temporary generator at the water treatment plant. Robert?
So, as you know, we bought the new generator for the water treatment plant. We went from 1,000 kVA to 2,000 kVA that will run the whole plant at its new rated capacity at full capacity. Right now, the old water treatment plant generator, it'll run at half capacity, so we won't be able to keep up with demand. If something ever happens to our main power feed, the old generator won't be able to keep up with that demand. That's the reason why we're replacing it. So we thought we were going to be able to run the old generator while this new generator is being hooked up, but we found out that it just will not keep up with the demand. So I'm here to ask you if we can get a temporary generator installed while they hook the new generator up to the water plant, so we'll be in full compliance with the EPP and the state's, regulations that they have for us. To do this, it's $28,360. And that gets us tied into a temporary generator until the new generator is actually online and working.
Any questions?
We have it.
Got it?
We just need the temporary generator now to start this project. It finally came in. We were waiting on it for a pretty while. It changes year by year, so it's thanks to y'all.
You're doing a great job.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Please vote. And that item passes unanimously.
Thank y'all.
Item F, consideration and action on a resolution authorizing a change order in the amount of $189,000 related to the purchase of an additional 495 linear feet of 36-inch fusible pipe for the raw water line.
Thank you, Mayor. As you know, I give you guys an update every month on the raw water line project. So we're at a point now that they've been able to assess everything that we have in the field. And so what they have determined is that we need, at this point, 495 additional feet of the fusible PVC pipe. That, could be in, there was two bridges that we bored under that we had to realign. So that attributed to some of this extra need. And so what we're asking for today is a change order for the $189,000. Luckily, in our favor, they had some of this pipe already in inventory from a project that apparently did not go through from somebody else. And so they had about 700 linear feet available. So we're asking for you to be able to let us purchase 495 linear of that pipe that's already there and ready in the yard to be able to finish getting to the pump station. So that's where we're at. So it is less than a 1% change order. So.
Any questions? If not, what is the pleasure of the council for this item?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Please vote. Passes unanimously. Item 8G, consideration and action on a resolution authorizing an agreement with Bartlett West for professional services to install a dual 36-inch water line from Reservoir 5 to the South Water Treatment Plant.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We have been talking with Bartlett and West, who Lee Hallencheck is here, if you need any technical questions answered or anything further. But what this will allow him to do and his team to start designing a dual line that will that will connect reservoirs that are on the north side of town to our South Water Treatment Plant. It will involve some easements and things like that, and I'm working with Daniel Ray as well as Josh Knutson, who also helped us on the current raw water line project. And so this will just be for the design. We don't yet have the pipe for this yet, or the installation of that pipe, and that's what I will come to you guys with after the design is, percentage through that will allow us to know the estimated cost of that. So I'll come to you guys with that with the next bond offering, which we originally planned to anyway. So, but this is just for the design of that, and like I said, Lee is in the audience if you have any questions.
Any questions for Lee or Summer? Thank you for being here tonight, Lee.
We're going to possibly deal with easements. Is there not a way to make that line straighter?
This is not it.
Oh, that's not it?
No,
Oh.
no, this isn't it. This is for the next one.
Oh, okay.
It's
Gotcha.
okay. It's okay.
Never mind then.
No. we are going to make it as straight as we possibly can. There are some is there some bridges? I can't remember. There's 2 bridges, and I don't think there's a lot of agricultural property that we'll go through, some floodplain that we'll go through, and things like that. So I have some information from Josh Knutson that I'll be bringing to you guys with easements that I have to go over with Daniel. So yes, we will do our best.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion regarding this item?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Please vote. And that item passes unanimously. Item 8H, consideration action on a resolution authorizing change order number 10 and change order number 11 for the installation of 7,900 linear feet of 36-inch fusible PVC pipe for the raw water project.
Yes, Mayor. If you guys recall, back in December, I came to you guys to purchase an additional, I think, 8,750 of linear feet of pipe, and that would be for the next 2 pictures that Geraldine will put up there. But this will connect the current raw water line to the south water treatment plant, so that's the big run of it. So that's one of the change orders. And then if you'll go to the second picture, then we're also connecting, we're moving the raw water line and doing a different inlet up on to Reservoir 5. So that's the small run of pipe. So that's why there's 2 different change orders. There was a couple of alternatives that we could do, and thankfully the alternatives were cheaper for the valves that we prefer, that would match all the valves that we currently have in the current raw water line. So that was actually on the cheaper alternative. So the total for both of those change orders is $3,186,660. This is going to be taken from the current bond money in the industrial park project was over budgeted, basically, and so we do have those funds available in the current. So this would be for the installation. MH Civil would do that installation, so there'd be no mobilization charging. They would just finish the current raw water line, and then step right into this project with the pipe we already have, everything here, and then we just move forward, get those connections done, and then once we get the 5 miles, then everything would connect and loop everything together. So.
Okay. Any questions for Summer regarding this issue? Not? What is the pleasure of the council regarding item H?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Please vote. Item H passes unanimously. Item I, consideration and action on a resolution approving revisions to the City of Greenville's purchasing policy related to legislative updates. Summer?
Yes, Mayor. So if you'll recall, the legislature passed a Senate bill, I believe it was 1137, that allowed the minimum purchase to be raised from $50,000 to $100,000. And so what this is asking you guys to do is to update our policies in accordance with what the legislature passed, which will be effective September 1st. So that's why we decided to put on this meeting. So.
Surprised they didn't lower it. Okay, any questions regarding this item? Not, what is the pleasure of the council regarding item I?
Second.
That item passes unanimously. Item 8G is postponed until the next meeting. I'd like the city secretary to read the consent calendar.
J.
Item J, I'm sorry. What did I say? I'm sorry, J. Has postponed until the next meeting. I'd like the city manager, or city secretary to read the consent calendar, please.
City Council meeting minutes from August 12th. Resolution authorizing H&H contractors to relocate and rehab the Walmart lift station panel rack and control panels, and a resolution authorizing H&H contractors to provide wiring installation for 4 VFDs and 2 transformers at the Tawakoni pump station.
Okay, are there any questions regarding these 3 items? If not, is there a motion regarding the consent calendar?
Make a motion that we approve.
Second.
That item passes unanimously. There are no city staff, city council reports tonight. Item 11, city council discussion of proposed agenda items. Are there any items that the council would like to bring forward tonight? There being none, I'll move to item B. There's no board or commission minutes. We will go back into executive session under section 551.071, paragraphs 1 and 2, but we do not anticipate a vote coming out of that executive session. So thank you for being here tonight, and hope to see you next time. Thank you very much.